My God, this new Travis Scott album, Astroworld, is just really good. I didn't actually set up like my whole computer where it usually is, but I'm curious to know if the camera's gonna look any better in this because I'm working around with some lighting, adding some more lighting in to see how it looks. So feel free to let me know about that. But this album's 58 minutes, 33 seconds, 17 tracks, and it features so many like uncredited guest features. I mean, you have Kid Cudi, you have Drake, you have The Weeknd, you have Sway Lee, you have Frank Ocean. I'm actually, I don't think I'm gonna be able to get all of them, remember all of them, but I'm just gonna read them off. Nav, Gunna, Quavo and Takeoff from Migos, The Weeknd, Pharrell, Juice World, James Blake, Kid Cudi, Sway Lee, Drake, Frank Ocean. I mean, there's just so many great features on this album that I have to say they all come off really well. And this is his third album. He has stepped off from Kanye West's label, so that's kind of interesting. And I feel like that was probably a good like bet on his on his side of things because I feel like this is straight off the bat his strongest album. uh, I was a bit weary when I saw that it was an hour long, but now that I think about it, there's so many rappers nowadays that are releasing. It seems like they're either on one side of the spectrum or the other. They're either releasing these super long projects that are just super like bloated, and not necessarily in a bad way, but just super bloated ones with just a ton of content on them, usually pushing like 17 to 20 plus tracks, or you have the rappers that are releasing just like 6 to 7 to 8 tracks that are very like short albums that running in the 20 minutes. I'm talking about albums like Kanye West's Yay this year or Pusha T's album Daytona that came out. Just overall these kind of shorter albums, or XXXTentacion's album Question Mark. I mean, there's a lot of albums, and then recently you have Drake's album Scorpion, which is longer, and it's kind of one or the other, it seems like. But for the length, I was a bit skeptical going into it. I was a bit kind of off put by how long the album was, but at the same time, I was wanting to remain kind of like in the middle. I was going to listen to the whole thing and then make my consensus, and it really seems like I had nothing at all to worry about because this album is completely great. Pretty much out of the 17 tracks, there is no track on the album that I listened to that really jumped out at me as being like super terrible, or like super weak, I guess is the word I'm wanting to use. But to be honest, this is a super strong release. The lyrics on this album are very deep, very personal. You can tell there's some beef type of stuff. There's a lot of people. The song "Stop Trying to Be God," that Ariana Grande obviously in the line of fire with that one. And the thing that I kind of have to compliment more so than the lyrics and the overall just flame production and rapping that is done by not only Travis but done by the guest features that are featured on the album, is I also got to really compliment how great the beats are on these songs. These beats are some of the best beats that I have heard in any song or any album for a long time. I mean, so many of these beats just got me bumping, and all of them are very unique. You have these kind of alternative hip hop with some R&B thrown in, these just swirling beats that really carry these tracks that are really strong. And I really like the fact that the beats are not weak on any of these tracks. That's a thing that I'm kind of reaching like like the surprise factor for, is none of these tracks really seem that weak, that like they could have been taken out. I mean, I'm sure there's probably like some, but all of these tracks are very strong. The performances given are very strong. It's all meticulously made. The mixing is fantastic on this album. And Travis Scott, I have listened to his material before, but he's never been someone that I've been super into. But this has me into his music, and it's kind of similar to Denzel Curry's new album that he released, Taboo. I gave that a very favorable review and said it was my rap album of the year, perhaps, thus far. But I'm taking that back maybe, because there's like 4 really good rap albums that have been released this year. There's Denzel Curry's, there's Travis Scott's, the one we're talking about now, Kids See Ghost self-titled album, and then Nothing Nowhere's album Ruiner. But overall, this is a great album. It has slick production quality, fantastic lyricism, some that cuts really deep, some that is very personal, you can tell. Sometimes cryptic, but in a good way. You can tell that there's a lot of emotion and passion behind it. All of the performances given are very strong, very powerful, very punchy. The beats performed on this album are very strong. They carry the tracks along very well. They're very booming. They're very get your head bopping and your foot tapping type of beats. And overall, it's just a fantastic album. And I want to know what you guys think. If it wasn't obvious already, I'm giving this a perfect 10 out of 10 because I can't find anything wrong with it. And I'm sure that you guys maybe have different opinions. So please post in the comments below what your thoughts were on this album. Love to hear them, and I will reply to your comments, maybe do a follow-up talking about like how the opinions differ, and yeah. But I'll talk to you guys next time. Until then, my name is Jay Morse, the Review Guy. In the end screen, you can find my previous videos as well as the subscribe button. Please consider doing it. It helps me out a lot, and I'll talk to you next time. Till then, I'm signing off saying farewell.